Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing some advanced 4x4 walkthrough solves. I average about high 33s with Yao, and the cube I'm using is the Angstrom MGC. Without any further ado, let's get into the video. The scrambles will be in the description. Okay, so for this first scramble, obviously we have a really easy white center, and then we have this bar for yellow, so we can actually plan both centers very easily with this. I can just do a D and then a fat R prime to solve the white. And then I'll probably just go ahead and do an F and then solve this bar and then rotate to solve that bar. And because it's so easy, I'm probably going to look for like an easy first cross edge to do as well. So I notice this edge isn't going to move at all. Yeah, I think that's the only cross edge that's not going to move, so I'm probably going to look and track the other one. And it's just going to move down here, and then we solving this bar is not going to change it. And then not exactly sure, but it's going to end up somewhere on this face, so should be pretty easy to track that going into our first cross edge. So I'm going to go ahead, solve that. Yeah, so there it is. I know the other one's back here. And now I see this blue one. I also see these all back here. So I'm probably going to do blue next. And then go ahead and do the orange. And now I use a technique called half centers. I'm sure you probably already know what that is, but if you don't, I'm just going to briefly explain it here. We're going to start by solving basically half of 3 centers. So I've got these 2 bars like that. And then I'm probably just going to do orange back here. And then you have a choice of solving this back center or this bottom center, or I guess the front center, but that kind of makes look ahead a little bit harder. In this case, I'm going to solve the bottom center first. That also solves the front one, and then last 2 centers. And then the last cross edge, pretty simple. Now I slice this way, so that's what I'm going to do. But I see this edge is back here, and I'm rotating this way so I can do my last 2 edges of this cycle in the front, like that, and then that one, and then it's pretty straightforward. And then of course, just 3x3. Gonna do some 3x3 walkthrough solves soon, so I'm not gonna like go too in depth on 3x3. Almost didn't see that I had parity. Pretty straightforward solve, actually. Alright, so for this next solve, also have a pretty easy white center for this one. Yeah, so that's probably what I'm going to do. You could build this bar with an R prime U prime R, and then pair it up with this one. This center is not going to move, and I can move this center to build this bar like that. So that pairs that up. Go ahead, finish the center. And I saw this edge first, and I also see this one, so I'm going to take a quick glance, see like which edge is going to be easiest. Obviously in this case it's going to be blue. I still don't even know where the green one is. Now though, I know that it's this one. So I'm going to go ahead and do that one next. And then I have orange here, which I'm going to go ahead and do. And then half centers again. In this case, we probably solve blue and orange and then just move the red one. Now this is actually kind of an interesting case because I'm going to switch. Instead of doing one of these as my bottom center, I see I have this, which is even easier. So I'm just going to flip to doing that one first. Half centers is typically pretty flexible, and it's usually very fast to do it anyway like this. You're basically just block building. So I don't think it really matters too much the order that you do things in. Now here, I can cancel into solving my last 2 centers like that. Very, very easy case. And then your last cross edge. And here, okay, so I've got this edge solved. And I'm going to take a quick glance and make sure I don't have any other edges solved. Because if I had 2 edges already solved, I could just skip the middle cycle. But I don't. So in this case, I think it's best to actually just use this as the first edge for my cycle of 3. And then go ahead and solve So, okay, in this case, wasn't really looking ahead there. But what I'd probably do is solve this one, insert a new edge, and then go ahead and solve this one and just take the last two edges case. There might be a better way to do that, but that's how I've always done it, so that's what I would do. Go ahead and solve 3x3. Don't know what I did there. Here, do the anti-soon first, and then just an F prim. So for this third scramble here, we don't have any bars already made for us, but you do have a couple one move bars, and you also have this edge. So because I don't have any easy centers and I have a free edge, I think in this case it would be fast to preserve it. So what I would probably do is solve this and then solve the edge with it. And then here I'm going to save this bar, flip, and then solve the last center. And now I've already got one bar or one edge done for me, so I'm going to go ahead and do green next, and then probably do red next. And then here I already have super easy centers case. Yeah, I'd probably solve this and then do the green one, and then I'd go ahead and solve orange first, and then I'd do blue, and then last two centers. Cross edge, pretty straightforward. Okay, I don't know how this happened, but we've already got our first three edges done, so that's kind of wild. Go ahead and just solve your next two, and then the last three. That's a pretty lucky case, actually. You don't see that very often. Here we're not gonna have parity, and then E prim. Okay, for this next scramble, I already have this bar, so I'm probably gonna start with white. You can do 3 moves to solve that center, which is not bad. Okay, yeah, in this case, I think I'd probably just go ahead, solve this, and then cancel into putting that one on top, and then finish the edge. I'm also tracking like all of these white edges. Green's gonna be the easiest, so I do it first, and then here I'd probably do red, and then orange, because I knew where those other two pieces were. Now I've got this center here, this center here, and then I can solve green, and then here, because I saw this edge back here, I know that when I insert this, or sorry, this center, when I insert this bar, it's going to put the center here on the front. And so I'm looking for this other one, which is here, but that's going to end up in the back, which is a bad case. So I'm just going to do a U prime to move it out of the way, so I can go right into inserting that. And then the last two centers, cross edge. And then here, I'm looking for the blue, which is there. Again, inserting it into the back so that I've got these two in the front. And then this is kind of unlucky. Yeah, because I've got this, which needs to be here, but this one is gonna have to go over there anyway. Sometimes you just get bad cases. And then I've got these, and then the last three. And then here, this is a cool little 3x3 trick, I think. But I'm just going to keyhole, because this is a bad case. So I'm gonna keyhole this edge, so it takes the corner out and makes that case a little bit better. Cancel into that. And then here I do parity first, because it's gonna give me a soon. And then what I should do actually is solve this with the block in the back, because that's going to give me the J perm with a no AUF. Okay, fifth and last solve. A couple one move bars again. Nothing really easy. Probably yellow in this case, because I can solve this and then do an R2 to solve these two and then insert that. And that also happens to make that bar, so I'm going to put it on top. And then I'm tracking all of these edges. So this one's already made for me though, so I'm going to go ahead and insert that first and then solve the blue. And then orange. I've got this half center, and no other half centers. So I'm going to go ahead and solve the red one first and then do green because it's pretty easy. And then can match these two. And then I probably should have canceled a move there, but wasn't looking ahead to that. And then here, I'm actually going to solve this one with slice L moves. I'm doing those with my ring finger. I think some people do it with the pinky, but for the size of my hands, I think the ring is a little bit better for me. And then last cross edge. And then I'm looking for this edge which goes here. I've also noticed that these two are the same, which is a little bit annoying for later in the solve, but you know, assuming that I don't break them up. And then here, because I've had this edge solved, so I have these two are the same, these two are the same. This is a really easy, like, last 4 edges case, because I can solve this, insert an unsolved edge, do a U2, and then insert the other unsolved edge. So you don't have to do like 2 flips in there, because that would be really slow. You get that case actually pretty often, so it's good to know that one. And then I'm going to solve this first because that's what I saw. And then parity is the same case as last time. We're going to get a soon. And then here, no matter what, you're going to get an A-perm. So that's it for this video. If you found it useful, make sure to leave it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, then you can leave them in the comments below. I respond to basically all of the comments. Make sure you subscribe so you'll be notified of videos I post in the future. And as always, keep on solving.